Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry I'm late. I'm so late. Hey guys. Hey Jill, how's it going? I'm sorry I'm so late. I got sidetracked by lots today, including my mom just now, so I was helping her. Oh my gosh, Bluetooth headphones. She got some noise canceling ones in, and they're not pairing with their cell phone, and I couldn't figure out why. I have no idea. No idea why. Oh, I got a thing. How's it going? Let's go. Let's go. I started out really rough this morning. The new replacement phone that I just turned in for the warranty, had to turn it in again because I broke it this morning. Oh man. So now I got to start over with another phone again as soon as it arrives. Let's see. Let me hit right here. Tell Twinkle and everybody. Let's go. Y'all. I'm sure Betty's already on it. I certainly did. I cracked the heck out of that phone this morning. See right there at the top camera, I cracked it. And then it brings a line all the way down my screen. It's awful. Broke the heck out of it this morning. Oh, well. So now my new phone looks like this. Oh. So I had to do another warranty today and get another one sent to me. I still got all three here. Oh my gosh. Hey Trisha, how's it going? It's good seeing y'all here. I've got some cool questions for sure. What's that? What's that? What's that? Who's messaging me? Let's go. Betty's saying she's bored all day today, and she didn't have any questions to answer at all. She feels so unloved. So if y'all got any questions, be sure and hit Betty up, y'all. I'm just teasing. I really appreciate you picking up today. I had that teacher-student council meeting today. Oh my gosh. And of course, they denied everything my lawyer asked me to get. So I got to create a thing to tell my lawyer I failed epically. Oh, but, oh, Lord, I appreciate Betty helping out with the Discord and answering all the questions. Tiki 2, Twinkle 2. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today. I really appreciate y'all. And if I haven't gotten back to your message, just keep asking. Keep whatever. If you've asked on Discord, ask on Messenger or whatever. Emails are usually the last thing I get to. So I do Discord and Messengers before I go to bed each night. And then as I have time, I open up emails. I don't know why. I guess it's because it's like work emails. You know, it's like... Gotta open up those. I'm really slow with those, but I gotta get to those. So just keep harassing me if I haven't gotten back to you yet. tomorrow. Today I had the school board meeting and tutoring this afternoon, and today's live. So tomorrow I just have tutoring. I do have to prep for Sunday's workshop. Yay. If y'all have not signed up, it's still some spots available at the medicalcodingbyjen.com. You just go there, book it. It's $10. If you can't attend the whole thing, you can view the replays. So that's great. But I got to prep, but I do have a smidge of time Thursday and Friday if anybody needs something that I haven't done yet already. I'm still working on the musculoskeletal section. When I wanted to show y'all some cool ideas that I thought of today. Of course, I figure it out as I'm in the musculoskeletal section and only have lab, path, and medicine to go with it. And then I could have added this one detail to my notes prior and all the other sections that I figured out I could do last night. So I'm like, oh, now I got to go back and redo all my notes, but I got to keep going forward. So I'm going to finish musculoskeletal. I'm going to do lab and path and medicine, and then I'll go back and update some of the other sections, but I wanted to show y'all that tonight. But let's start out with a little bit of E&M. If this is all you had, established with UTI and RX was written and lab was sent. What visit would you do? Would you do a 212, a 213, a 214? What would you do? Megs, you keep her busy. Hey, Trish. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Mutta. Hey, Jillian. Hey, Megs. Cassie, if I haven't said anything. And I know I said something to Jill. Betty, you gonna give a 4? So if it's not a Bishop, good job. If it's not a prescription for the rest of their lives, like a 30-day prescription, then we can code the 3. We can code the 3. So this is just short-term risk. It's just a risk for 7 to 10 days. We did do a lab that was sent, but it is a minor lab for a culture to verify the UTI. And what a lab sent for a UTI would do, it would also grow out the bacteria that was in the urine that flashed an infection, because it would have had a dipstick done in the office saying it had a lot of white blood cells or whatever. So when they send the lab out, it's going to grow that bacteria out in a petri dish and see what grows out. Also, it will treat it with several antibiotics like sulfurs, penicillin versus erythromycin. And then it'll tell the doctor in 3 days, though, if one antibiotic works better than the other one. And that's sometimes why you get calls saying, oh, we got to switch your antibiotic because whatever bacteria, because if it's from a lake or from those bath bombs y'all should never be using on you or your children, by the way, or any other kind of bacteria, it could be treated differently than just a regular UTI. You've been holding it too long, kind of like thing. So you never know. Aw, thanks, Maddie. No worries, Betty. If it is a 30-day supply of a prescription written and it changes their life forever, that's more of a risk, and we would do a 4 on that one. Oh, where's my water? Where's my water? Do I have water? Did I drink the water? All I seem to have in here is energy drink. Oh, no, that's pineapple water. No, pineapple water. How about a tea? Hey, Go-Kart, how's it going? All right, how would we bill this situation? Where's my other little thingy? So let me cover that up. I was talking to somebody who took their exam recently, and she took index cards instead of taking a white piece of paper like I've been saying in my lives, and just fold it into a square. She just took index cards, cover up her exam question, and did it that way. So that was a great idea too. Just take some blank. They have to be blank. Please don't write anything on them, not even your name. Blank index cards, and then you can cover up your questions or the answers, whatever you're needing to cover up and block out of your view so you can focus correctly. Super handy dandy. So we have a new patient, type 1 diabetes, coming in with a chief complaint of cough, sore throat. A rapid test was positive in the office. We sent out a culture too. And an RX was written just for a 7 to 10 day prescription. What would you bill for that one? Thank you for all the follows. Hey, Mean. How's it going? Hey, Uniqueness. Good to see you participating. Hey, Shawnee. Yakking. Love the name. Sandy. Let's see your response. I'm doing good. Doing good. It was a productive day. I always feel better about myself when I get something accomplished and get it out of the way. I didn't accomplish much at the school board meeting, but I got them to accept Travis's neuropsych eval from Children's Hospital in Banner, which is great because it has all of the things that I need addressed in his IEP in it, and it gives them instructions on how to address it. So they're going to update the IEP with that instead of doing a new one. And then they'll make accommodations after they've incorporated that. And I follow up in 2 weeks. So that's good. And I finally sent, we have one of those soda machine things. I don't know. It makes soda out of root beer or something. I don't know. I don't use it. You can make soda out of your tea or something. Anyway, I finally boxed up the COT cartridges, applied for the gift card that they give you if you send the cartridges back, and mailed it. So that's like a whole afternoon of processes to get done. I finally got that done too. So I feel good because that's not in my view, sitting there not getting done. And I'll get a Amazon gift card back for turning in those CO2 cartridges. So that's cool. This one will be a 04 or a 14. Sorry. Yeah, 04 because it's a new patient. You're right. Because of the one chronic and the one acute, we are going to be doing an 04. How would we do this one? Sorry, I'm darn it had a corny because this is all you're getting. A wellness 18-year-old who wants an IUD placed today. Your first issue, are they new or established? I can see. I'm glad you can. Did you see the picture of my freaking cell phone? I broke it. The new replacement for my replacement. Oh my God. So I have to order another. I did manage to order a new replacement for my replacement. They made me put in my driver's license front and back because they were scared it was a scam. They needed to verify. Are you really doing this again 7 days later? Yep, I am. Correct. Yakking if you are not told whether they are new or established, you are going to be doing an established patient. Established patient is your default. We will be at the codes. Where would we do an 18-year-old wellness exam? What code would that end in? Very good. Default established. What is the last 2 digits of our CPT code for our E&M visit for this patient for today? 95. Very good. Very good. Y'all know what y'all are doing? Why are y'all here? Y'all should be sitting out poolside, right? I'm teasing. Very good. That's awesome. I don't want to, well, I don't know. Should I share this? Should I share this? Oh, should I share this? I don't know if I should share this. Okay, I'm going to share it because I said it. Check out these scores. And please don't let this bother you. But check out these scores, okay? Look at this. A recent person who took the exam after watching me, all this good, lovely stuff. I mean, fantastic, right? Even the guidelines we got at 85%. Love it, love it. Med terms, they had that document, what was on the exam the last 45 days. So they made another 100% on that. Medicine, 50%. I think you're rocking if you're getting that there because it's a hodgepodge of hot mess. Look at that radiology, 83. Lovely scores, right? Did not pass. Failed by 1 point. I have no words for that. I don't think any of that is appropriate. That if I saw these scores, I would hire her in a heartbeat to code for my practice. Look at all those codes she could practice. Yes way, Betty. I am speechless. It was just a lower anesthesia and a lower E&M than you'd really want to have, but still, everything else, including radiology, guidelines, was all excellent. Excellent scores. Just 100% can be. She did fail by 1%. And I'm just in as much shock as y'all are, and I don't mean to stress y'all out. Just don't forget about anesthesia. I know we only have 4 questions, and they're E&Ms. That's why I did these E&Ms. Your exam could be up to 16 questions in E&M, and if you're not up to date on E&M, that's the one thing that brought her down. She can code like nobody's business. And code every section of that book, knows her guidelines, knows her med terms, knows how to code every section of the book. It's just a little weak in E&M and anesthesia, and that's rough. That's rough. So I am just heartbroken over it, and I don't see how it could be a fail because of those scores. It's just very traumatic. For me, too, to see that, I don't see how they can qualify looking at those scores and say it's not a pass. How do you tell somebody they didn't pass when they had that many 100s? I don't understand their methodology. And if it had been a registered nurse or an LPN or even a medical doctor, they give them a few more questions in the exam over those 2 sections they might have gotten low in and verify they really don't know what they're doing in it before they fail them instead of just giving them a fail. It just doesn't seem right. I know, but it just seems shady. too. It doesn't seem mathematically correct either. It's like, how does all those 100% in all those sections not get a 70% overall? I don't understand. It just seems shady. Someone had a question. It should be just missing 30 questions. It shouldn't be a balance. It should be 30 questions. You fail, missing 30 questions. But there's no way. I mean, really, we're talking one question there she missed. One question there she missed. I don't know how they even qualified there was 30 questions that she missed, 31 questions. She got one anatomy question wrong, one 4,000, one 6,000s. Even with the low E&M or whatever, there's one in guidelines. I don't see how they got, so there would be 3 here in medicine she missed there, 1 in radiology. I don't see how they got all the way up to 31 questions. I don't know how, even with the low E&M. Even if there was, I just don't see how. I don't see how. She missed 5 cases, though, so the cases in E&M would have helped her, and then 3 in integumentary. So it's just very little that I don't think she would have gotten up to 31. I'm going to have to sit there and figure this out, because I could figure out how many questions she missed in each section because I got her scores. And I don't even know how they equate that to 31 questions. I seriously don't. Seriously don't. Well, the cases are 10 cases, so they're, if you make a 50% there, you missed 5 questions. So they're worth, 10 points each? So I don't know. It's rough. It's rough. So be sure and make some notes. Oh, thinking of that. Yes. What I was figured out in musculoskeletal last night as I was working away, listening to actually some sort of murder mystery in the background. I shared a little bit of it on Discord where I colored in our axle skeleton, made it green, and then the that type of skeleton bones I colored in pink, which is just our extremities, but still I labeled how many bones were there in each one, which is kind of cool. I did all the types of fractures up here at the top, so if you have different types of fractures, they're all listed there. Just those kinds of things. The types of bones, be sure and list something like that. What is in your skeletal system? You've got joints, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, those kinds of things. What is the function of the skeletal system? It's to support your body and to protect your organs, those kinds of things. I'm drawing out some of the fractures, where they're located, if they have weird names, like just a type 3A, and then drawing in the distal part of our bone versus the neck part of our bone. Your bones have different parts. The north and south end are called something totally different. So just adding in some things that they may not have labeled too always helps. And all you got to do is Google. Just Google system function, and you can find all the info that I did and do the same things that I did. It's not I'm not doing something special. I'll find things that were in an exam question that were asked, like about your shoulder blade, what another name of it is, and I'll add those kind of parts. So as you're working up questions, your practice questions, be sure and mark up that kind of stuff. But the cool thing that I figured out I could do last night and didn't think about doing was, we've got that big, in Integumentary, we've got a guideline about our simple repairs. Sorry, I'm going to get there. Just a second. I'm just turning some pages. So in our Integumentary section, if you go to simple repairs, we have a guideline that we put a warning on the other day. If I could get there to them. Those are malignants. I think I have to get past the malignants. Yep. Somewhere. If we're doing simple repairs or intermediate repairs, we need to think about making sure that we are not coding wounds that are penetrating or that we need to explore for depth here. So, meaning stab wounds, gunshot wounds, or wounds that we open up more than normal to get out foreign bodies and remove things, to look for damage in other areas of that body part. We have to move those over here to musculoskeletal. So I have some guidelines here about gunshot wounds, stabbings. They're all included in this kind of stuff, right? If we're exploring a penetrating wound, we're going to see how deep and remove objects that might have and we might have to enlarge the wound. This is where you should be. We would not be in a repair if we're doing this. Now, other AKA terms that they might use in the exam question is explore, of course, enlargement of the wound they might use. So I'm adding those AKA terms in here for you for my notes. And then it also means minimal repair, more to explore. What that means is what happens if you do find something in there that is cut or repairable that you need to fix and you're not just exploring anymore. There's a guideline tied to that. So when I went down here and I added in my examples, like if I was going to code a 20103, like I have a small shards of metal that were embedded in the upper arm, the doctor was going to use forceps and the MD surgeon removes metal and explores carefully to remove all the foreign bodies. That is codable under your 20103. But caution, I figured out I could do this. What's going to happen if you can't and should not be coding here? I didn't think about this before in my notes about putting an example that wouldn't go here, to remind you what you should look for during the exam to see if it should be coded somewhere else. So I don't know if this will be confusing to y'all, so you let me know. This is my first one. I put caution. If repair to vessels or other structures do not code. An example of that would be code 43410. We do have a gunshot wound of the neck. We explored and the results found a tagonal injury to the lateral wall, which made a repair of the esophagus. We had to repair the esophagus, and we also did a debriefment of the gunshot wound pellets or shards or whatever happened in there. So we won't code it here under the 201 area where normally you think gunshot wounds go, but because it changed into a repair of the esophagus during the exploration, we have to code it there. Do you think that would be helpful to have some cautionary examples near codes that aren't codable here Or is that going to be too confusing? I don't know. So that's my first attempt at that. I don't know. I'm in here highlighting what's in the parentheses. Y'all know I like that. And then just marking the little differences between the two. If there's imaging guidance, I underline that in blue. I love it with the 2 stars. I do my do nots in the red stars. Y'all know that. And then radiology in blue. You think that's helpful? I hope so. Some people get so confused by my notes sometimes that I worry if I start changing and adding more stuff. But I really think that that would be helpful to explain. It explains a guideline tied to those, and there's always a gunshot wound on the CPC exam. There was on my exam, and I just feel like knowing an example that you wouldn't code there too might help you not miss the fact that not all gunshot wounds go there, that we could end up going here. So I hope so. All right. So if y'all are doing exam questions and you find a scenario that goes with the codes, lovely. But what happens when you find a code that doesn't go with the codes that might be suggesting that you went here and it was a trick question and then you figured out what the right answer is? Even if we're not in gunshot wounds, we're in cardiac or something else. It could be something that you could do to your notes too. So as you're going through those practice exam questions, I've been telling y'all to focus on why the ones that are not right are wrong, and look up those codes, see what the differences are in the CP code descriptors, and make notes also on why the ones that are not right are not right. We can expand that to the examples too. You know you're going to get a gunshot wound. You're probably getting an MVA or an external cause, like they were playing baseball on a field and got injured, or they were in a fight at the bar. Those are their 3 favorite things that they do injury-wise or external cause-wise, along with burns and stuff. So I can find examples that wouldn't go in burn, but would go in like chemical corrosion, because those are coded first. And put those examples with the codes that do mean burns, but also put a cautionary term. If it's corrosion, we got to go here first. So I think it'll be helpful. Plus, it could help explain some of the top 10 guidelines that we know we're going to get and fix that situation. More ideas that I'm coming up with how to prepare our notes from the exam's point of view. So I think it's helpful. I just don't want to confuse people either. So like my ICD-10 guideline thing that I typed out, that's pretty confusing, I think, sometimes. But I tried to help. All right. I do have some practice questions. I know some people are taking their exam this Saturday who are going to pass. Y'all know it's April. It's my birthday month. You cannot fail this time. It will not happen anyway, because we have the Gen Mojo going on this month for sure. So I wanted to get some. I had tutored with someone today who provided me with some cool questions I hadn't seen before. We worked them without the answers, but I wanted to work them up with you guys too. That'll be later on, because I know she'll go to bed early, hopefully, if the kids will go down. But I promised some new questions for her before too late. But I told her I was going to show her questions tonight too. So anyway, let's get started. You think it's helpful? Thanks, guys. Y'all tell me if I go too far. I don't mind, what do you call that? I don't know if it's criticism, but second opinions. Y'all Y'all are very helpful in keeping me excited about creating more material for you. But if I'm going too far and it's too much, let me know. Let me know if it gets too complicated, because I can roll with it and spit out stuff that's just sometimes, what are you saying? So be sure and let me know. Yeah. Tell me to stop it if it's too much. So here's our first question tonight. I was like, what is this question? I'd never seen it before, and I've done a million pap smears. So I was like, I'm like, why does a coder need to know this? But anyway, get this lights out of the way. Probably can't. What do y'all think about this? I mean, just the process of elimination, because these two have Beth in it. There's got to be a reason why. I'm thinking it's no Beth or a Beth. I don't know. Means probably right. She knows everything. So this was an interesting one. If the findings on an exam of a pap smear are normal and described as negative for epithelial lesions or malignancy, this is an example of what type of result reporting. I'd have to go back in my brain and look through, when did I take A&P 1 and 2? I took that with microbiology in 1992. In the summer of 1992 to find that answer. And yeah, I don't think my memory goes back that far anymore. I don't know. I guess because billing purposes, we need to know, but I don't know. We know we're not in genetics, right? I mean, that's pretty, we can at least eliminate genetics. And surgical path, we are in a pathology, sort of, because they're doing a brushing of the lining of your uterus. So I'd be like, But just because the process of elimination gets me to keep the best, I'd figure it's not surgical, correct? It's cyto, right? So they took the cyto off of the pathology and split it up and put a genetics with it and then a surgical with it. Funny. But what does Beth have to do with pap smears? Here's your rationale. I printed it out. This is an example of reporting by the Beth method. What? It's referring to these codes, and on that page, before this code range, you can read the guidelines where it discusses the Beth and the non-Beth of a pap smear. Okay. At least it tells us where to go to find out what Beth is and what codes it affects. We can make sure we have notes there after we read the guidelines on each one of those codes and make sure we know that knowledge, whatever it is for our guidelines. I don't know everything there is to know about every CPT code. We've done PAPs for 1,000,000 years, and, I would click the check box on the LabCorp lab super bill and keep a copy and send a copy with the pathology, but and make sure I got the report back, which lots of doctors' offices don't do, have a tracking system to see if they get back every single specimen they send out, which you should have. The auditor in me would do that, but I never paid attention to a Beth system. It's a requisition form. It's just a copy of the super bill from LabCorp, the one I was just talking about, where we check off which pap smear we're doing. Because some of them are thin prep, some of them are slides, some of them are whatever. So very interesting. I'll have to read up on it. I don't know. I don't know what the Beth means, but that is your answer and some guidance on where to go find the rest of the information on it at least. All right, we've got a squirrel, right, who has a fine needle aspiration specimen that was sent to our lovely, correctly put together cytopath. I know we should be reading the exam question ahead of time, but I think this one was unique. It was unique. It was a unique one. Nothing too important there. A new specimen must be obtained. Ooh, what happened? Once the specimen was reviewed, it was found to be inadequate to perform the test. A new specimen must be obtained, which is then examined and diagnosed, confirmed. What modifier should you append to indicate 2 specimens were examined? So what did they do? A new specimen was obtained, which was examined and diagnosed, was confirmed. What modifier would you add to let them know that 2 specimens were examined? Well, technically, there was only 1 specimen, right? Because the first specimen didn't have any specimens in that. Every so often we would do pap smears or something, and we'd attempt to do the brush. And for one reason or another, we didn't end up with any cells from the linings of anything, and it just wouldn't have any, and we'd have to do another one. Yeah, so I'm like, is that a trick question? What are they saying here? Yeah. So technically, the first test cannot be billed if there was no specimen. Yep, we were right. So no modifier. No modifier on that one. We just have to eat the bill for going in and trying to get a specimen. We did not do it successfully, so they cannot get paid for looking at a slide with nothing on it. And then we don't get billed. We can't bill for the office visit and stuff that we did just to collect the specimen. Now, if we did an E&M visit and also did her blood pressure, we could do that, but we're going to have to redo her pap. I hope that makes sense. I hope that wasn't too confusing, guys. I found another acronym. Are y'all ready? Get to the back of your books where our acronym page is at and see if you've got this one. What is BKA? MK knows. Mean knows, I bet. Bilateral knee amputation. Ouch. It's on Discord? Really? I didn't know that. I just found the question tonight. It is D. It is below the knee amputation. Yes. And by the way, every year starting January 1, every single toe grows back, every single leg grows back, every single knee amputation, arm amputation, hand amputation, everything grows back on your patients. If you don't diagnose them with a below-the-knee amputation every January 1st or whenever you see them in the beginning of the year, even if it's not till December of the next year, whatever, it's considered that they have it grown back according to the health plans. So don't forget about some of this stuff. History of is super important for those reasons. You won't get your risk adjustment for that year for your patients. I know risk adjustment is very critical for the doctor's offices nowadays, and if you don't diagnose them with their amputated body parts, then your company will not get reimbursed for supplies issued for them, extra services that were given to them because they don't have any legs. If you don't diagnose them every year with everything like that, just so you know. ABA is above the knee amputation. Nice. Hey, Shawnee. Yep, it is hysterical. I can't believe that they don't keep data and continue it for certain things, like an amputated leg. It's not going to grow back. We don't have that technology. We can give them a prosthetic, but still, should be something that we shouldn't technically, really. I mean, if you're monitoring your patients and keeping your population healthy, health plans, right? They're paying for a service. We're paying for our health insurance. Our health insurance disregards all of our data for prior years. So you fail the exam, Megs. She asked, why do they put those on the test if they aren't in the book? I'm sure they're in the book under the procedure for a below-the-knee amputation. I'm sure you can find it in parentheses next to the CPT code with the descriptor. It'll be below the knee amputation, and then it'll have in a parentheses BKA, and that's where it'll tell you. But they don't always gather that information and put it in the back of the book where the acronyms go. So it's in the book somewhere. It's just knowing where it would be, and knowing that they don't put all the acronyms on that back cover. And that's why it is so important to go through your CPT book and highlight what is in those parentheses if your CPT code has it. It's key for the exam. It is crazy. It is. Like that example, heartbreaking example of that person who I know can code. She got 100% on every CPT section, guidelines, med terms, everything. Just beautiful scores. And then they say she missed 31. Really? I don't see where she would have missed 31, but okay. Yep. All right, here's another one. I don't mean to scare y'all with that example. I'm just mad about that example. I don't think it's fair. I don't think any of it's fair at all. That woman can code. She can code better than I can. 100%. I'm still mad. Oh my gosh. Okay, what are we going to do here? If this was our question in cardiology, which is one I have not shared yet before, what would we do if this was your question? Look at me. She knows everything by heart. We would look for that. Is there anything we can get rid of here that we know is probably not going to be one of the answers we can ignore for a little while? We love our Infuse support. There's also another AKA term for one of these ports the other day I saw during tutoring. I wonder if I still have it down and can find it. Sorry, I'm talking to myself as I'm turning pages. 365, 71. As I'm dropping stuff. Oh yeah, I already had it labeled. Okay. She's picking C for, oh yeah, telling what C is. Okay, so we are going to look for our word Infusi-port because we know that's one of our favorite happy codes. Our squirrel was diagnosed with rectal cancer, right? Which one is labeled portacath? Do we have that one labeled somewhere with fluoroscope? We have a dilator introduced. Sometimes that makes a difference. Portacath. Somebody likes that 7001 because it has the fluoroscope in it. This one's what, ultrasound and MR probably. So it's a difference between our 71 and 61. We do have our A. So I like going through the question and adding portacath because they've got it as a proper term to our Infusi-port. Well, yeah, as another term. Is that it? No. Our 61. Trying to see from like 5,000 feet away. Yep. With our fluoroscope, I already had in my notes, if fluoroscope, add that, but I didn't have portacath in there. We could put portacath there. I have Infusi-port in the one above it. If you don't have that 36565 is called, okay, let me go over here. We've got 365, 65. Its AKA is called TESO, right? T-E whatever, I don't know. S-I-O. That's one of their proper names for that code. I like that one. So I don't know if anybody noticed that that one and the 66 were both called the TESO. So just in case. And your rationale. Yep. Hey, May. How's it going? Glad to see you. Immunization time. Immunization time. Our first code is the same. What's the difference between our 58 and our 60, right? We're glad to see you too. She helped us out with what was on the exam the last 45 days. She gave us 40 of 50 of one of her questions one day from part 1 of her exam. She is to thank for all that info. It's awesome. We need to see our differences between our 5'8" and our 60. What is the difference there? We're going to keep A and C. Such helpful info. What's our 58 and our 60? What's our differences there? One is the live influenza, right? And one is, and she organized it by CPT codes. Like all the 1000s, this is what they asked. This, and this. It was great. It was awesome. So, which one's live? Which one's our live virus and which ones are injectable influenza? Live versus split. Yep. Our question, does have us administering the influenza in the nose? So it is live. So which two can we get rid of? Are we getting rid of the 58 or the 60? Thanks, Twinkle. So we're getting rid of the 58s. Do we see a coding irregularity after we organize that particular part? I like doing one code and then looking for our coding irregularities after we've gotten it down to 2. Any one of those a coding irregularity on B or C? Yeah, we don't ×1 much of anything, right? That just looks weird. So we know our answer is C. But the interesting thing that I wanted to point out that we've touched on once, that I argued about, but are 71 and 72. 71 is a parent code, right? That is our administration code for when you do not get counseling from a physician and you're just coming in just to get the shots, which is fine. And it happens every day, so it's perfectly fine. But the cool thing is our vaccines, one of them is given up the nose, nasal. One is given sub-Q. And then one is given IM in the muscle. And when they don't get counseling, we bill the shots based off their administration only, not their components. So our sub-Q, our IM, but our nasal is going to be an add-on code, which is like a child code to actually the 73. which means nasal. We wouldn't bill the 73, which is the parent code for the nasal administration route. For whatever reason, the CPT code book wants us to pick its child add-on code. You'll see there's a lot of do nots. We can't bill two parent codes under the same header of things. So that's to be considered, which 73 is another parent code. So we have to pick its child code if we're going to pick it to go with our parent code 71. I just want to make sure y'all understand there's a relationship thing going on here between our parent code 60, 71, and 73. Only one of those can be top dog and picked. The rest will end up having to be child add-on codes underneath those other parents to be used with a different parent, if that makes any sense. It's an unusual scenario, which doesn't really happen in the CPT book. It's not too big of a deal. We don't need to worry about it when we're doing the process of elimination and looking for coding irregularities. We didn't even need to pay attention to any of that. I'm just trying to teach you about the differences, why we didn't pick the 73 and we picked the child code there that's underneath another parent, because we can only have one parent here. And then we picked its child code because we have two injectables, and then the nasal ended up having to be the add-on code. That's all. I'm just trying to teach a little bit of something just in case, but hopefully you won't even have to use it. You can just go one code at a time. Look for your differences. Find out your differences. We're doing live only. Then we got rid of the injectable influenza. Thank you for the love. And then we just looked for a coding irregularity, picked our C, and moved on with our day. So hopefully y'all can do the same thing during your exam. E&M, anybody? E&M. What is 253? I asked David's whose voice was this, and he said, Tara. He hadn't heard my voice, God, since he left Memphis, Tennessee. So are we talking the 90s? 80s, late 80s, maybe? Somewhere around there. You know, we were living in Horn Lake, Mississippi, probably the last time I saw him. Walls, Mississippi. Pretty far. My cousin's in here, so that's Samantha Faye. We're reminiscing. She's fixing to go on vacation for their spring break in the Gulf Shores. I certainly miss my Bullfrog Corner in Walls, Mississippi, for sure. I miss the South altogether, but it's okay. We got inpatient consult. All right. Our 21 is inpatient hospital. I remember that one. What's our 33, guys? Oh my gosh, I had to go through here. C is subsequent consult. All right. And then 34 is observation, admit, and discharge. There's a big difference there on observation. We have 3 codes. One of them is plain admit, which is, I think, the 19. We have discharge only, which is our 17. And then we have our combo, which does admit and discharge. The reason why you would have these is if you come in, get put into observation for your asthma attack, and then you have a shift change. Your doctor that admitted you into observation would go home, and then you'd have another doctor come over and discharge you. So you might have to bill separately for separate physicians, but just make sure you are aware of those differences in all those observations. So we do have admitted yesterday. So the only answer it could be, right? We're not doing initial, I guess maybe it could be a consult, but just seeing that yesterday makes me think it's a subsequent, right, guys? Tara is my other cousin. So my mother's baby sister had 2 boys. One of them married Tara. And Tara, I believe, is the one that has the 3 boys of her own. And I think she's in the medical field too, because I know their dad is a physical therapist, my cousin. So I got lots of boy cousins. I'm an only child, so I'm just fascinated by all these different relationships and stuff. I didn't grow up with any siblings, but goodness, I had the cousins because my mom had siblings. My dad is an only child too, so we just kind of observe, and we're not too, like, we're socially awkward, you know, because we don't know how to interact with a bunch of people, but my cousins know how to be social and do things better than I do, for sure. But he hadn't heard my voice, man, I don't know how long. It has to be the late 80s. It's been a long time. Because I'm in my 50s now, so my goodness, he would have seen me. Ugh. High school, 15, 16, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. So he hasn't heard my voice in a while. Yeah. She is our, yep. It's okay, Samantha. They know all about me. It's all right. It's fun. I hope you're learning a little bit about coding. Do you want to go into the field? She's a teacher, and she could probably help me with some techniques here too. How to get the lessons across in a more efficient way, for sure. I haven't showed the question yet, other than I just said admitted yesterday. So it's got me thinking that we're in a subsequent situation. It would not be initial hospital, right? We know that right away. And we know that they are not observation because they were admitted yesterday. So we can at least get rid of those. If it could be an inpatient consult, if another doctor was brought in and today was the first time he or she ever got to the hospital and got to see them, I guess. But more than likely it's a subsequent visit. So let's just check down here at the bottom and see what our question says, the last sentence for sure, before I move anywhere else. So what's the code for evaluation and management for the following day is all they're asking. So eval, and the way they're saying following day just makes me think that this is just a subsequent hospital visit and it's got nothing to do with a consult. That's how I would attack the question. It's nice to think I might sound like Tara lives in Tulsa, so it's still sort of in the South area, but I've lived in Arizona and California since 2000. I don't know, 9/11 happened a month after I moved here. So how many years has that been? I don't know. How long have I been gone from Memphis? A long time. Is it 20 years yet? 21 years. And I still sound like I might be from the South a little bit, maybe. So that's good. I can do an example of 2 out of 3. Yes, I can. Let me go make one up for you real quick. So let me get over here. 2 of 3. Get to my E&Ms. E&Ms. Those are cool. Standby services. What's the code for standby services for 45 minutes? How would you code for standby services while you're waiting on me to do something here for 35 minutes? 45 minutes, sorry. 45 minutes of standby service. That's supposed to be a 45 for standby services. Oh. Equals. Looky there, looky there, look at me. The last 15 minutes don't mean anything, and we would not code those. All right. So our history is going to equal comprehensive. I'm not telling y'all the codes yet. Hold on. Our exam. Ooh, am I under? I'm not under a 2 of 3. Hold on. Now I am. Our exam is going to be detailed, and our MDM is going to be straightforward. Our code set that we're going to be coding is going to be established patient for a home health visit. I also do contract work for home health agencies. As a contract employee, I will come in and help them pass if they failed their national certification, meaning their tracking logs for staff education or training program for their staff don't meet new guidelines. I'll come in and fix their situation and write their corrective actions and get them back on track, which is so much fun. So if we're doing established home health patients and we had an exam of a history, that was complex on a patient, what's the last 2 digits that we would bill for that code? Am I in the right book? Because y'all got some different numbers. All right. For a comprehensive history, what code would go along with a home visit? I'm under home services, guys. Home services is my header. Hey, moms, how's it going? So comprehensive. Shawnee got it. We would be at the 50s. So I'm at code 99350 is our established patient home visit with a comprehensive history. What would be our last 2 digits for a detailed home visit on an established patient? 49. Mean got that one. Perfect. What about our straightforward MDM for a home visit for an established patient? If our MDM is straightforward, perfect, 47. Because we are an established patient, we know our guideline is going to be 2 out of 3, need to match. We can throw away our lowest, and we still have to bill our lowest out of the 2 remaining. Hey, Mona. What if we had a new patient home visit and we had a comprehensive history and a history that was comp? What last 2 digits CPT codes would that be able to be billed under? We have a home service for a new patient with a comprehensive history. There you go, Jill. We're going to have a 44. And you might as well just put the 45 down too, because they're both comprehensive. This is just how I do it for the exam. If our exam we'll do the same thing. If it was detailed, exam was detailed, what code does that equal? Good job, Mean. 43. Our MDM is also going to be straightforward. What would you bill there? Just for the MDM, just for a new patient, home service, 41. Since they're new patient, the guideline is that we have to have 3 of 3 match, right? So, yep, we're billing that 41. It's crazy. I don't know how a complicated history. The detailed exam I could see, but our history is crazy. Other than the patients had maybe a lot of family members in who gave you a ton of history, and then the patient also kept you and did a ton of history, and they had a long history of healthcare issues that you need to consider. You did a full exam, but you knew right away that whatever home services they were getting was probably just oxygen, and you just needed to set their oxygen level and then move on. Who knows? It could have been something simple. But I hope that's helpful. Let's do a lab and path, right? What are we doing here? This question is usually on the CPC exam. Usually. Process of elimination makes you want to keep those 2 5s, right? Then we've got the 2 20s and the 2 46s. Would we do a ×2? Is that a coding irregularity? Would we do that? Just kind of a weird thing there. If I was doing, this exam question, I would keep B and C, then look for the coding irregularity, which is in C, and then just pick B and move on with my day and not look at the question. But, yep. I would just keep B and C, then eliminate C for the coding irregularity and move on with my day. But if y'all want to go through the hard work of verifying, y'all verify. We've got the benzos and the alcohol being ordered by Dipstick. Are we using a machine to read? No, we are not using a machine to read. It is all visual. So we know these two have machines, right? And would we bill a ×2 to Dippy Stick? No, we would not bill a ×2 to Dippy Stick, but, still saying B's our answer. I don't know, guys. Is my connection wonky? It shouldn't be. Oh my gosh, I can't find my mouse. There we go. All right. B's our answer. Where is... Yeah, we know that one. I'm going to skip because we know that one. We know our... Yeah, we know that one. We know that one too. Might not know. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. So if I was looking at this one, I don't like the 99s. They usually end up being non-specific, somewhere else, not elsewhere classified. I would, on that one, I do like the 62 and the 63 because they're super close together. I would run to see what the differences are in those two. Me knows these by heart. Yep, we are doing a total digoxin. I did these questions with Mean, and she picked them out without even looking at the question, too. She said 62 is total without even looking at her book. She's seen them all. How about this one? This one's going to be new. I didn't do this one with her, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I did. But this will be new to you guys, because I was struggling trying to find questions she had never seen before. So we've got a difference between two sets almost, like the 60s and the 70s. What's our differences here? Yeah, the codes are all out of sequence. If you don't just do randomizations, we need to get some, I need like a sheet of like 50 lab codes that I know that are out of sequence that are really difficult to find, even ones that aren't out of sequence that you have to find the page number for, but the ones that are out of sequence, because the ones that are out of sequence push the ones that are in sequence out of sequence, even though they don't tell you that. Anyway, it makes them all difficult to find. You need to practice finding codes in that section, because there is nothing more stressful than only having 2 minutes and not being used to looking for all those codes that are everywhere. It's just crazy. Hey, Designs, how's it going? So which one of these would a turtle order if they were looking for a quant FDP? Here is another acronym. If you don't know this one, please add it to the back of the book. Can anybody spell out what FDP is for everybody? Yep. Very good. If y'all be sure and get that written in the back. She'll add it to Discord. Yay. Good job. Good job. Everybody's got it. Good. Don't ask me how to say it, because I don't have the vernacular for that. All right. Process of elimination. Don't let it freak you out, but love all the 9s, right? I would get rid of C because it's not like the other ones. And then I just need to know how many specimens I have, right? Because we either have 2 specimens. Let's go see what we got. Ooh, we got a lung removal. We know we're high on up. When they're removing lungs, you know that's a whole organ. We know we're not in an 07 because that's where the craniotomies are. And we're doing lymph nodes. 30 more minutes. Thank you, Twinkle. Thank you so much. 30 more minutes. So we've got lungs and lymph nodes. We've got 2. C. 79. Anybody want to guess an answer? I again wouldn't pick the times 2s for anything, and I would go straight for the B. I like it too, Libby. Let's see. Oh, we did get it right. Yay. Love it. This is a good one. I know Mean hasn't seen this one. Oh. A virus is identified by observing the growth patterns on cultured media. What is the type of identification it is called? She knows it without the answers. I would have thought that observing growth patterns in a culture would have been definitive, because I just needed to know a definitive answer. Is it there or not? I would have probably gotten it wrong. Not presumptive. But very cool. Good job, Neen. She's awesome. She knows the answers to every single question before even seeing either the question or seeing the answers. She just knows what the answers is. I don't know why she doesn't take this exam before she goes on vacation and just has a big old party once she's on vacation, because she's going to pass. I know she is. Whatever, mean. I would have gotten this one wrong, because I don't even remember this question from microbiology. So, presumptive is observing growth in a pattern. Just craziness. I guess you're planning out and knowing the patterns, and it's being presumptive that it's going to be this, that, or the other thing just by seeing the patterns. But still, my brain wouldn't have went there first. Me too. I took microbiology. Man, those microscopes. I'm glad I took it when I could see. I took it in my 20s instead of my 50s. So I couldn't do it now. I couldn't even do it with glasses and everything else. I couldn't even see back then, and I had great eyesight back in the day. All right, what's the answer mean? She didn't see this one either from me, but she probably knows what the answer is. Labs are fun. They are. She's a walking CPU. I wish I had her brain, man. She's really good at trying to ask questions too. Figuring out why an answer is not an answer, or why it is the answer. It's cool. All right. Our question is, flow cyto whatever is performed for DNA analysis during which CPT code? Jill's rocking a 2. That's true, Betty. Very true. Also, every time you go under anesthesia, it seems to give you a little bit of foggy brain. It's nice to be knocked out and go straight to sleep and have no memory of anything for a while. But man, when you wake up out of anesthesia, that brain fog lasts. Good for her. Oh my gosh. I was so scared of college math because I failed high school math. But once you decide you want to learn something, you can do anything. So don't let nothing stop you. A is our answer. Y'all already know. Y'all are good. Okay. Let me get those questions that Joe gave me today that I had not seen before. Okay. So ignore her talking up there. And let's go to these CPT codes. So we've got integumentary popping up at us. So looking at these answers, we either have, two different types of removals, or, I don't know, multiples of whatever's going on. Yep, we're destroying and getting rid of crap. It's growing where it shouldn't be. Here's your question. So Betty, we have treatment of 8 warts and then removal of 7 flat warts. What's the difference between plantar warts and flat warts? Why do we care, and why would we bill those separately? Because a wart's a wart, right? We don't care how fat, big, whatever it's called. It's just a wart, right? So what we would do is we would add those two numbers together. We would get 15. We got 15 warts we removed. Does that help? We're only going to have one code. So we can get rid of that mess. Now you just have to decide which one it is. Could be. Do we have warts listed in 2 different locations? Let's see. Let me get back to my page. I wasn't even looking at the CPT book. Where's my 17? Don't tell me Mean got this one wrong. There's no way. I've got plantar warts under 1710 and 1711. AKs under the other things. She did it wrong. She might be right. Yes, I did wrong. No way, Mean. There's no way. Well, if you did it wrong, Joe and I did it wrong this afternoon. I don't have the answers to these questions. So I tried to go with a 2-thing answer 2. Joe showed me that they're both warts. We just add them together and we would pick the 111. Port wine stains and things like that are under our 06s. Y'all are saying that C is the answer? Hold on. First I did D, then C. AKs are pre-malignant. Which one of these are pre-malignant? Flat warts or plantar warts? None of them? So did we do it right? Just add your warts? Because if there's a difference between flat warts and plantar warts that I don't know about, and that they're becoming pre-malignant when they're called a particular thing, the answer is D. Okay, good. Okay. Good. All right. Now killing me. All right. This one. So if I was doing the process of elimination, I won't like the 5, right? And in general, if I'm left with 3, I usually like the one in the middle because it's usually not whatever the first one in that numerical sequence is, because it's usually diagnostic or non-specific, and it's usually not the heavy set one, the one with the bigger number, because it's a bigger procedure. I know this one says a 5, but just looking at this answer, if I was doing this one, I would run to the 4640 first and see what that code was, and that would be the one I like. Plantar warts and flat warts are included in the definition of the lesions. 246 40 246. It's a good question. For sure. 246 40. We got a closed procedure. Yep, we got nursemaids. If we got a nursemaid kid, we do. It's really nice that they have that definition in that CPT code descriptor, which is super handy dandy, but what if they didn't have it? What if they only had the radial head listed? So it's nice. We would need to go by the description of child. So just in case it was just a part of the bone, there is an age difference in that CPT code that it says we're dealing with a child. So that could be helpful too. Sometimes you don't get those AKA terms in the CPT code descriptor, which is rough when you don't. All right, so almost 2K likes and 2 shares. Thank you. We've got 3, 1, 0, 0, 0, 20, 33, and 67. We've got a difference between 2 sets of codes. What's our 310 area? And then I would go look at my 312 area. See what my differences are between those 2 sets. Tissue removal by how? How are they doing it? What are they using? Thank you, Twinkle. Because there's a difference between the 310s and the 312s. The big difference is isn't one of them a scope? Are these scopes arthroscopes? Or are these scopes endoscopes? Ah. Incision versus scope. So you just check your question whether you're doing a scope or not. I do see endoscope right there. So then that would let me know I can get rid of these first 2. And then I would just go look at my difference between my 33 and my 67. And since we did remove some diseased tissue, yep, we're going to pick our big bad one then. Perfect. What's going on here with our 42825? 42825. Tonsillectomy. Oh yeah. So let's see what we're doing. Let's make sure we are doing adenoids and tonsils. I had that removed as a child, both. So we would not be under the tonsillectomy. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. So our age is our difference between these 2 codes. And since we have an 8-year-old, we're going to pick our younger code. And that's how I would do that question in like 5 seconds. Boom, out of the door. Oop, phone. Right here. Ooh, do we see any coding irregularities and all that mess? What's going on with our 594? 59409? Oh, we got babies. We delivering some babies. Ooh, my. B's got some foolishness in it, doesn't it? Would we be billing a 51 multiple procedures on Ooh, I got a good modifier question coming up in just a minute. That's pretty cool. I like it. Anyway. No X's times the babies. So we do have twins. We have both twins born vaginally. The doctor is going to do post-care, and the doctor did all the prenatal care. So what's our only answer for a total global for a baby and the mom? So the total prenatal with post-op care and a vaginal delivery all rolled up into one is our 00 code. If you did all the prenatal, you did all the delivery, and then you did all of your post-care, you get an 00 code if they're all vaginal anyway. Now, for the second baby being born, which is kind of silly to me because, you know, when you're doing all the prenatal care, you do prenatal care on 2 babies. We're doing the ultrasounds and we're doing measurements all on 2 babies, blah, blah, blah. But they're going to give the baby, the second baby, just a vaginal delivery with no prenatal care and no postnatal care because all they did was the vaginal delivery of the second baby. When in technicality, we really did do prenatal care on both babies. You have to watch them both being grown. It's just that there's one mom. Yeah, we could only do one mom prenatal care, one mom vaginal delivery, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's just, I don't like it. I think there ought to be something else. But anyway, yes, D is your answer. Very good. Good, good. $400 would cover all. Total routine. Yep. But not for the twin delivery, for the vaginal twin delivery on the second baby. According to AAPC, they want that answer. And we know that sometimes it's not about picking a correct coding answer. It's about picking the best answer out of the options provided for us. 00 is the best option, no matter what comes after it. So always keep that in mind. Also, I know I'm running out of time. Let me get to the modifier one if I can find it real quick because I liked it. This one. Which one of the following statements is true about modifier 51? Which we just had. That was interesting. We're looking for something that is true. Sometimes we're looking for false stuff, but this one is true. Oh, Lord. My poor screen. Yes, yes, yes. Modifier 51 is reported on vaccines. No. Heck no. Do we do modifier 51 on E&M and valuation management? Nope. We know our modifier for that is 25. We don't use no hashtags for that. So the only option it could be is that we know, and I put down in my notes, big and loud and hardcore. I put it especially in integumentary because it gets crazy because it has the most add-on codes, that we do not add our 51 to those codes. And a lot of times we don't add our 50 also, but I at least have those symbols up there at the front. Add-on code equals times. And we don't bill our 50 or 51, especially our 51. There are too many do nots. There's too many open versus closed procedures in musculoskeletal. All these circles of greens and orange. It's insane. And then the do nots are like crazy, but that's okay. It's good to be there. And practice question that will ask you about it too, for sure. Which one of these goes in this little box for this? Twinkle, how am I doing on time? Did I already hit it? I can't remember. If we lower a level of care that's supposed to be coded at a higher level according to the documentation, what will we be charged with? Fraud, abuse, Stark's violation, or an anti-kickback? Oh, good. Thank you, Twinkle. Yes, that is fraud, for sure. This is the one earlier I did. I've already done this one. This is our 45 minutes of, sorry, I wish my thing would not tap screen, and then I can't tap it to stop it. So it's like, okay, I didn't mean to do that. Oh my gosh. I don't think it's going to listen to me now either. Go away. I don't even know how to get rid of it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that other one was our 45 minutes of standby time. Okay, here's a hip hicks one. Hip hicks. Anything look irregular to you guys? Those 24 times 24 scares the heck out of me. But how are we going to bill our bicillin LA? Chloe. Look at mean. I swear, codes must swim around in her head all night long. Yes, we would bill our bicillin by the 24. Isn't that insane? I would have went straight to these ×4s, been in the wrong spot, didn't match with bicillin before I went to those two codes. So I would have done this wrong. But now that you've been exposed, you know that we can have a 24 in our J codes. Be looking for one of your penicillins being able to be coded by the 24 unit. That's okay. It's perfectly fine. All right. Can y'all guess what the answer is without seeing the question? Look at mean. Look at mean. The reasoning behind this is we would get rid of R because it is a symptom, right? So then that makes it a difference between these 81s. One of our 81s is not specific enough, and knowing that AAPC would want it to be specific and have that 6-digit, I would also get rid of that. Also knowing AAPC, they're not going to want us to bill all these symptoms with these diagnosis codes. So again, just looking at the answers first and use that index card, you can pick out the right answers. Sometimes it's like winning the lotto. It's great without even looking at the question. If you look at the question, it's going to be full of propaganda. It's going to make you think something totally different than what's really as simple as that right there. So what we've got is auditory vertigo in both ears. So both ears gets you to be specific. Normally, unilateral, like our right is number 1, our left is number 2, and our bilateral actually ends up being a lot of times the number 3 in our diagnosis code area on these last things. So if you did look up this one's going to be right, and this one's going to be bilateral. Anyway, just knowing a little bit about what's a pattern in ICD-10 will definitely help you during your exam get these right. For sure. Please do not diagnose possible crap unless you're being told you're in the ER for some reason. Sometimes they can bill the possibles or rule out appendicitis or something, but in everyday coding with they're presenting and they don't tell you where they're presenting at, we're not going to be coding anything that is anywhere near our presumptive diagnoses. Let me see if I can find another one. Somebody asked me about a hypertension codes today. This is as close as I got to one. We're still in the medicine section, but we do have a difference between like headers. What's our 70 codes under versus our 20 codes under is what I would start out with. Learn those differences first. You did. I know, Betty. The way they teach ICD-10 coding versus what I can teach you in a few times is a world of difference for sure. It certainly is. They don't tell you the simple things that could help you navigate the book. Just navigate it. They're just... I hate the way they teach it. There you go. We've got a duo scan. Oh, May, you are so awesome. She is so organized, guys. She's really awesome. That's so great. She found her part 2 exam questions that from her exam when she took part 2, and she's going to organize those and send them to us too. Yay! I'll share them out with you. All right, guys, and we'll talk about that on Friday. Yes, if she gets it done in time, we'll do it on Friday or Monday for our live. We do have a Friday live coming up. It'll be another 2 hours here free on TikTok, so don't forget about that. Hang out in our Discord group. If you're not there, please click the link in my bio here on TikTok. I have a link tree. Find our Discord and join. You can get a ton of help in there. All of our, any kind of help you need, we're there. Also, we have a workshop this Sunday. If you want to sign up for it, it'll be a Zoom class. So it's $10, but it's 3 hours of back-to-back. I won't be doing any sharing or questions or stop talking to share stories. It'll just be back-to-back questions on the male and female reproductive system. We'll be doing circumcisions, vasectomies, multiple deliveries, copos, leaps, hysterectomies, all those procedures in those areas, prostate cancer. We'll be doing diagnoses and more E&M, some new E&M questions that I have not shared with y'all. So to make sure y'all are up in that area. Also, there just won't be any share time where I talk to the cousins and stuff. We love you, Samantha. But we'll just be working hard and showing you as many questions as I can. Usually get through 50 to 70 questions and in that 3 hour time so that you've seen at least examples of everything you could see in those areas for sure and know what to expect during the exam. I hope even if you can't attend, if you do the pre-order, you get the repeat live. So let's check out our question. Now you can find them. Yay, I did the same thing. I'm so glad, Mean, you like the workshops. It's like a boot camp, but it's a boot camp that works. That's the best. I need to have that running on a bio as an advertisement. It's like a boot camp, but it works. Oh, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm so helpful. I'm glad to be useful to and helpful for you guys. Here's our question for the last one here. We've got congestive heart failure, hypertension. The doc ordered a duplex exam for the lower extremities, so we can get rid of one set, and then the difference is between the upper and lower extremities. Not too hard. Oh, and there is a difference. There's one with veins and there's one with arteries. So no matter what, even if you're in the medicine section of the cardiology section, but you're still in medicine, but you're in cardiology, don't forget to pay attention to the minute differences. 90% of cardiology is, are we in an artery or are we in a vein? Because those duplex exam scans are in two different places, but one of them is an artery, one of them is a vein. That's all you got to know. Am I doing the duplex exam? Yep. Am I in an artery or a vein? That will save your soul. For sure. Any other questions before I go, guys? Sorry, I was so late tonight. I can't imagine. 9, 10, 11, 12. It's midnight in Florida, in New York, where a lot of y'all are at. I'm so sorry. On a Wednesday night. I've got somebody to tutor. Oh, I got Miss Edwards tomorrow. Who else? Do I have anybody else? I'm hoping I just got the one. But if that's all I've got, I may have some more time for others. So, Alabama. So we're still looking at 11 o'clock at night. Oh, thank you. I know, but I feel bad about not starting earlier. Just doing the best I can, though. Anyway, I will get done with my tutoring with Miss Edwards. She'll start at 7 in the morning. Then I'll have a early day and can get some more work done. Get this musculoskeletal done and get lab path and medicine done so that I can get back onto the ICD-10 guidelines. I think doing it the way I did the diabetes section, where I wrote examples down of how you would bill every kind of scenario that's going on with a guideline, would be helpful with the guidelines. Do the top 10. How would you code all the burns? How would you code all the sepsis? How would you code all the external causes and things? Yeah, I think that'll be helpful to do a bundle of the top 10 instead of doing the typed up every single guideline in the front of the book thing. That's just a lot to learn for the exam. We need to get them more focused on what's on the exam for sure. Yep, that book is scary. It is, but I can break it down into a much smaller thing. What I did was I attacked the guidelines and did every guideline. You don't need every single guideline for the CPC exam. We know their top 10 guidelines. They pick on overuse, underuse, adverse reactions, sepsis, HIV, pregnancy. We know our top 10 guidelines or whatever that is associated with those. I need to do just our top 10 guidelines. Yeah, instead of every single guideline. I have it. It's done. It's just 160 pages of notes that y'all would have to decipher and transfer, and that's a lot. And you can't, even transferring it, it's just too much, you know? You got a lifetime to learn all the coding guidelines. I need to focus more on the exam's point of view, and I didn't think of that at first, so my bad there. Anyway, I was trying to help, but I can always re-audit myself and try to think of better ways to help you guys for sure. And y'all's input is invaluable. Your questions are leading to, which help me realize what else I might be lacking. And if you do take any of your CPC exams and you pass, please go on and send me your breakdown of your score, especially for you long haulers who are in here every week with me, because that's helpful. Even if you pass, to know how you did in the breakdown of the scores. I won't share who did what, where, but it just lets me know like what areas are low. I know medicine and lab and path are a pain, but if I'm suddenly dropping, I can look for trends in like musculoskeletal. Oh yeah, well I haven't gone over that in a while or something like that. That helps me too. And I know I'm going to have some passes this Saturday because I have some people taking it on Saturday and it is my birthday month. So y'all are not going to be able to fail. There's just no way. Y'all are going to pass. So be sure and don't forget about me and send me your post scores breakdowns. That's super helpful because I like to see what I taught you and because I know y'all. I know who I've shared and who's been here and who heard what. So it's nice to know what I'm lacking in so that I can make things better for the others. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate y'all. I hope y'all are doing well, and I will see y'all on Friday. I will repost this live. Did I repost Mondays? I probably didn't on YouTube. Anyway, I'll go to TikTok in about 30 minutes and see if I can't load both of the repeat lives from Monday and today to YouTube, And I will see y'all in Discord. Yep. Good luck, everybody, this weekend. I really know y'all are, there's just no way. Y'all are going to pass. It's my birthday month. Y'all are going to pass. There's nothing else to do it. Thanks, moms. I will see y'all later. See y'all Friday.